There's a familiar stench of irregularity and anger over the recent NEET, or National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, a pivotal point of entry for lakhs of aspiring medical students across the country. After years of concerns and anguish, this year's results, the NEET 2024 undergraduate exam, have triggered a flashpoint over suspected malpractice, suspicious grace marks, and an insane number of toppers, totally skewing the result and throwing into turbulence an expected ladder of merit, which is what the NEET is supposed to produce. And as always, students are alleging a chronic lack of transparency that threatens their future in one of the most challenging domains in the country. Today, the Supreme Court has stepped into the NEET battlefield days after India Today took it up, and has issued notice to the government and the National Testing Agency, or NTA, that administers NEET. But this goes beyond just the current NEET and what the Honourable Court finally decides. What we have here, viewer, is a situation where the country's most crucial examination that will give us our next generation of doctors suffers from a dangerous trust deficit right from the get-go. The fact that paper leaks have not been uncommon in the last few years, especially in states like Rajasthan and UP, have only added to student anxiety and distrust over whether they are being examined fairly and on a level playing field. While the NTA has clarified that there have been no leaks this time and everything is in order, the lack of proactive transparency has left room for doubt and speculation among lakhs of applicants. Candidates invest enormous time, effort and family resources into preparing for NEET, and they deserve to know how their performance is assessed. They have no wish, believe me, to go to the Supreme Court and waste even more energy chasing what they don't believe they can prove. Providing detailed information on grading criteria, standardization procedures and mechanisms for resolving disputes should be a priority to remove all doubt. This is about the students. Something I've said several times before is this: anger and allegations by students should be seen for what it is. This is their life, their future. They cannot risk even the slightest ambiguity here. Advocating for more transparency in India's NEET exam is not about undermining the integrity of the system, but rather about fortifying it. That's what the students here are actually doing. Now let me just break down for you what this year's NEET undergraduate 2024 exam is really about. This is the medical entrance examination. Here's where the problem has started, and here is the nub of this year's controversy. 67 candidates have got a perfect score of 720 out of 720, meaning 67 people together enjoy the All India rank of #1. It's never ever happened before. 6 out of these 67 who've gotten that perfect score are from one single center in Faridabad in Haryana. 44 out of the 67 toppers answered a physics question incorrectly. 44 students are said to have got grace marks due to an error in the old NCERT textbooks. There was also a question about not having enough time. Those who did not attempt the physics question didn't get those grace marks. Some students got 718 or 719 marks out of 720. Experts say such scores are implausible within the marking system of NEET and the exams framework. It's just impossible to get 718 or 719. There has already been suspicion over a possible paper leak, but this has categorically been denied by the National Testing Agency as well as the Ministry of Education of the government. The Supreme Court today, based on a bunch of petitions by candidates, has sent notice to the National Testing Agency and the central government, asking them about the sanctity of NEET.